It's time for another quick take, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Francesca said that women cannot be as qualified as men when it comes to coaching an NBA team. And I wanted to do this video in honor of the fantastic show I just had with Sid Rosenberg. We didn't get to this topic. We talked about Mike Francesca, and he touched upon this, but we didn't talk about it in depth. So I thought I would give my 2 cents on what Mike had to say. Sid disagrees. I disagree as well. First of all, there are not enough examples of women coaching men in professional sports, but there are examples. And I thought that, as I start, I should first address those examples. So first of all, Andy Murray. Andy Murray hired Emil Mauresmo, a former WTA player, as his head coach. She was his head coach for 2 years. When she took over, Andy Murray was really struggling. He had a good 2 years under Coach Mauresmo. Everyone will point to the fact that he did not win a major in those 2 years, but he won 7 titles and really got his game back together. And Andy had nothing but positive things to say about his coach, Emil Mauresmo, after they split up. It was a mutual decision. It was a very peaceful separation, if you will. And that's a top male tennis player opting for a woman to be his head coach, and really it worked out pretty well. An even better example, considering we don't even have to cross over sports for this example, is Becky Hammons. Greg Popovich, the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, quite possibly the greatest basketball mind of all time, swears by his female assistant coach, Becky Hammons. Becky Hammons was the head coach for the San Antonio Spurs over Summer League. They actually won the Summer League championship. Now, that is not the most prestigious title you can win in the NBA. But what's more important is, first of all, she was the head coach. She was calling the shots. She was drawing up the plays. She was calling the timeouts. She was making the substitutions. And they did win the championship. But more importantly, Greg Popovich, the brilliant mind that is Greg Popovich, swears by this woman and swears by her basketball knowledge. When it comes to comparing a woman's ability to do a job with a man's ability to do a job, I don't care what it is. If you're not talking about a physical job, if it's a physical job, we can start talking, because there is just science where women have to overcome a little bit more physically to be in the same place where a man may be. They have naturally less muscle fiber. They have naturally a little bit more fatty tissue. This is science. This is valid, right? But when it comes to a job that you do with your mind, and there are always exceptions to the physicality rule, by the way. I mean, Chris Cyborg, you can look her up. She's a female MMA fighter. In the past, I would use the example of Ronda Rousey, but let's go with Cyborg these days. Cyborg could kick all of your asses. Unless Conor McGregor is viewing this video, Cyborg could kick all of your asses. She is stronger than you. She's faster than you. She's bigger than you probably. And she could kick your ass. So there are exceptions to the physicality argument. But when it comes to a job that you do with the mind, such as coaching, if you think that a woman couldn't be as qualified as a man to do that job, that is a sexist comment. I'm not going to call you sexist, because I don't think everyone who shares that opinion, which is, by the way, a lot of people, is just flat out sexist, because there are things that people could think about. So, a female coach couldn't connect to the players in the same way a male coach could. Maybe. I think that problem could be solved if you have a male coach on staff. Just like I think when male coaches coach women's sports, there should be women on the coaching staff. The same would be true if a woman were to coach men's professional sports. There should also be men on that coaching staff. So I will give them that. But all in all, I disagree with the comment. And in honor of the show I just had with Sid Rosenberg, it was a fantastic show. I'll put the link in the description. I wanted to sound off on what I thought of Mike Francesca's comments. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time.